Today, though, that was a long-ass intro. We're going to talk about the first one here, late lottery picks. So who's the first guy that comes to your mind, Dalton, that everybody should keep an eye on in like that 8 to 14 range?
Right. So, these are the guys that, Donovan Mitchell, who should have been rookie of the year, best rookie drafted at that time. Best came out of the gate right away. So it's those type of players that come out and surprise. So I can't definitively say any of these four guys I picked out will be like that, but these four have the best potential in my mind. So Johnny Davis is who I'll start off with. Wisconsin plays here in Wisconsin. It's great. Third in scoring among the Big Ten. Could definitely lift the offense of any of those late lottery teams. I'm looking at the Trailblazers actually. Even though he's not that, he'll probably get drafted after that, but he could certainly help. And I know they have enough guard play, but he's not the biggest playmaker, or he's not the most consistent shooter. But he's much like Colin Sexton was coming out of the draft, where everyone's like, is shooting an issue? We know he can go out and get his own bucket, but shooting and playmaking's the issue. So I feel like a player like that could help a lot of teams. Maybe even as a six-man bench scoring for some of those later teams, even like the Pelicans or the Timberwolves, maybe. But I doubt he falls that far.
Yeah, who knows? But everybody's seen getting a solid 6th, 7th scorer is super important because that guy can accelerate into being the 4th or 3rd best guy, sometimes the best guy on some nights as young players. So you get that accelerated scorer in right away. Maybe he ends up doing something great. I'm thinking about Desmond Bane, a guy who was drafted. I feel like he was the 17th pick or somewhere around that range. And I didn't realize he was going to be this great of a 3-point shooter. He shot fantastic in college. Obviously has great size for defense, but didn't realize he was going to be this great, this fast. And that's just kind of the gambles that teams want to make now. They're like, okay, you got shooting, you got size. That's what we're looking for.
Desmond Bane was the 30th pick.
30th. Oh my God. Jesus, I was way off. But even greater, he made it in the first round, and look at where he's at now. So
yeah,
get scores, and it always helps you.
Oh yeah, and Johnny Davis has at least proven that he can score. He's a 19.7 point per game in college. Okay. So you're gonna get at least a variation of that. The guy will. It's just, I don't know. So we'll see. Without shooting, that tends to really hurt you as a guard in this league. And it's not that he's not a good shooter. He shot 30%, still not that great, and that's from college. So, but we've seen guys like Colin Sexton again. For example, he did not shoot well in college, but look at him now. He's shooting above league average off pretty sizable volume. Before the season, he got injured most of it, but guys like that can shine, and I think Johnny can. I think there's looking at the lottery, there's a lot of guys that can that will certainly need it. I got the lottery here. All right. Oh well, yeah, the Knicks. The Knicks could use a lot on here, so I was just looking at them. But Wizards, no, they'd love to have him, especially with Kristaps there and Kuzma. They need another guard or point guard. He's not the best playmaker, but put him in with Bradley Beal. I think that'll make things a lot easier.
No doubt. Love Johnny Davis. The guy that I want to spend some time to talk about, who is on the opposite side of the player spectrum, is Jalen Duran. 6'11" center, played at Memphis, just a bruising tall player in the paint who can provide a little bit more than that even. And he's 250 pounds, by the way, as a freshman. So this dude's young and he's huge already. And he really had a solid mid-range shot. Would really get the team going more on the fast break than you would expect. So this guy, I think, is athletic enough to keep up with the speed of the NBA. It's I don't think it's a doubt that he can figure out shooting from beyond the arc. Anybody can do it. Fucking Brook Lopez can figure it out. If Al Horford can figure it out at age 35, I think anyone can really figure that out at that point.
Yeah, one guy I'm going to talk about later is Wendell Carter, and he came into the league. He wasn't that good of a shooter, but this last year he improved every month. So, and Brook Lopez did not shoot threes, and he's going to by the time he finishes his career, he's still going to be the leading 3-point shooter of all centers. Obviously, there'll be a point where Cat will pass that, but Brook Lopez learned how to shoot
Cat
while
already
in the
calls
league.
himself the greatest shooting big of all time.
He is. I mean, all things considered,
It's just funny to hear him say it, you know?
Yeah. So,
Like,
no, Jalen Duran, I have him. I put him up a lot higher because there's some. I was talking about the Kings drafting him because they might want to get a center like that, and Pacers might want a center in case they're moving away. I think the Pistons do. I really believe in Isaiah Stewart going into the season, but he's certainly replaceable, especially with a guy like Jalen Duran.
I think that would be a great get for the Kings. I just wouldn't be surprised if I don't know. It seems really high for the Kings at 4, but I think somewhere around 7 to 10 range kind of makes sense for him.
Oh yeah,
like
true.
The Wizards would love him. The Blazers would definitely love him. Spurs maybe.
Oh yeah, the Blazers, because I'm confident Nurkic is not going to sign back with the Trailblazers. I don't see why he would. He just didn't seem happy. I mean, they haven't made that much moves, and I feel like there's a lot better places for him, and I think that would open up things for Jalen Duran. Certainly would turn into a young team with Josh Hart, Anthony Simons around Damian Lillard, but I mean, everything they were doing was working, so.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the Blazers probably trade their pick, in all likelihood. They've definitely been having trades discussions, and they're just waiting to see what other dominoes fall, I think, which, fair enough to them. They got to hold on to their chips a little bit, but we'll see if they end up making the pick. If they do end up making the pick, I could definitely see it be Jalen Duran.
Yeah. So next, I got a couple of shooters. Either one of them are pretty good. I'll start with AJ Griffin. Really nice shooter, great off-ball movement. He's certainly just can help out any team, and I know I say that a lot, but you can insert him in any team, just like Corey Kispert was supposed to be in the draft last season, where he just comes in and makes shots. He's a great physical potential on defense. He's a 7'2" wingspan, so there's a lot out there for AJ Griffin that looks.
He's
good.
Athletic too. He gets up. He's fast. Only 18, so this is a guy who I think can help a team who's trying to be a run and gun type of style.
Oh yeah. Not much playmaking potential, only 1 assist to 0.6 turnovers. So obviously he just kind of catch and shoot most of the time, only 10.4 points, but shot 45% from 3, which is super exciting, and that's what will translate into the NBA.
Yes. That shit could make you go top 5. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's very reminiscent of Mikal Bridges when he was drafted. I mean, great wingspan, could be a great defender and hit it from the 3, catch and shoot. So can't argue with that.
Yeah, I mean, if you got Mikal Bridges top 5 in a draft, you'd be happy most of the time.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And I can see teams, especially like the New Orleans Pelicans, who desperately will need shooting going forward with Zion next to them. And still Valanciunas is out there. He can space the floor a little bit. Same with Zion, but not enough. So you can get that. I mean, I know they're going to want defenders in there, especially if he can grow as a defender in the combine or in this offseason. He might find his spot as the 2 guard on this team with next to CJ McCollum. I
mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to be more of a 3. He's pretty big, 6'6", and he played small forward in high school and in college as well. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'd be surprised. I think he can make it happen defensively as a 3, no problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you assume it'll be Brandon Ingram at the 3. I guess that's with the Pelicans. But yeah, he could fit.
I guess it depends on who drafts him, but I think it would be smart to play him at the 3.
Yeah. Another great shooter that I want to talk about is hold on. Ochai Agbaji. Great. He's a really nice shooter, can grab his own buckets. Also, he's known for his defense as a defensive option on teams. So he's not just a good defender. Like they can he can anchor the defense, not in a way like Rudy Gobert does, but he's an on the court coach. He's 4 years in college, so that's why I don't see him going that high. He's a senior, but very reminiscent of Chris Duarte and how he came in NBA ready, just right out of the gate scoring.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to get those guys. Like, so what? I mean, 22 is still young. Like, it's like, what's like most teams that don't bite on that, it's like, whatever,
Oh yeah, no, and 18 points per game in college. Like I just said, I mean that's gonna translate. Like it's not like you're going off a guy who showed a lot of potential, like AJ Griffin, who's 10 points per game, where you kind of hope he's kind of already in that role going into it. Agbaji scored 18 points already in the NCAA. So I think he's my biggest one coming out of here, where I think he's gonna be really good, just like Buddy Hield was 4 or 5 years ago. Buddy Hield was old, and he just turned out to be a really nice player.
Buddy Hield,
all rookie first team, I think. Buddy Hield was, and I can see Agbaji being that too. It's proof of concept of the type of player you want in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other guys who entered the draft at an old age.
Jalen Brunson, he was pretty old when he.
That's
why he fell to the second. Yeah.
He was. He did.
Cassius Winston, he's not doing much right now just because he was drafted by the Washington Wizards. But I had a lot of faith in him. He played for Michigan State. I mean, not much proof of concept in the NBA, but he also hasn't had that much opportunity. I think if he had the opportunity Jalen Brunson would, he would be a lot better player.
I love Cassius Winston, but I mean, he's just a little too small. He doesn't play big enough.
Yeah.
But I think he's definitely got potential. He's still playing in the G League, I think, for the Wizards. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I loved him in college. I thought he was reminiscent of Pat Bev in a lot of ways, just like in hounding the ball and his command of the offense as well. Like you could tell his teammates respected him. So they went and they made it to the Final Four that year.
They did. Yeah. Well, he was a senior when he got drafted, so he was with them for a while. But they did make it to the Final Four once.
But I mean, he's still only 24. Like, I mean, I'm 25, and I don't feel like I could play basketball, but it's different, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 26. I feel like I could try my best, but I'm also pretty small. But the last guy I want to talk about is Ty Washington Jr. They have a lot of them have him as the very last guy in the draft. I think that's very last in the lottery, and I think that's probably par for the course. But he's a really nice playmaker. He just hasn't shown the scoring that you would want out of him in college. I mean, he was a great 3-level scorer. He can shoot it from 3, play it mid-range, drive to the basket, but he's just shown that he can be that secondary playmaker, even playmaker off the bench to start off his career. I think he's not the most efficient, but I think he'd be a great prospect for teams. Certainly the Timberwolves is what they've been looking at for him to get drafted. I certainly don't think he's like inefficient. I mean, 45% from the field and 35% from 3. I think that's like numbers we can improve upon, but I don't think that's anything to really be disappointed with. And over a steal a game, I like that. Oh yeah, and he's a solid free throw shooter, which goes to show in the NBA. If your free throws there, then eventually your 3 will follow. It's just going to take some time. And I know he's not going to be NBA ready, and that's one reason he's going to be falling in the draft. I think he's going to take some time. I think the Hornets would like to have a secondary playmaker off of LaMelo Ball. Even OKC, I mean, they have 2 elite, maybe not elite playmakers as Shea, but they could grow into be elite with SGA and Josh Giddey. So maybe that'd be a great backup point guard spot for him. Knicks will take any talent they can get. But we'll see. The Knicks definitely want a guy who can score and command the offense. So wouldn't be surprised if this is the guy they would go with. I mean, I pulled up the highlight of him, and damn, this dude's speed. He gets to the basket crazy fast. He just took it full court, no problem. This dude is definitely like your next Russell Westbrook. I'm stamping it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, that could certainly open up your offense, especially for teams like the Knicks, where RJ Barrett has struggled creating his own shot from 3. Some nights he can do it, some nights he can't. Julius Randle's had his issues. Assuming Julius stays there into the season, the Knicks want to score. Definitely open up. Yeah, no doubt. The Knicks want to score. Yeah, man. I mean, there's just lots of fun dudes that are going to be coming into the league. We're getting real close. If we're not already there, to having guys who idolize Curry get in the league. So it's just going to be, dudes with crazy good shooting strokes of all sizes in the league. And it's going to be magnificent. Oh yeah, I mean it's already started. Trae Young is the first of many to go through that gate, but
Yep.
I can't wait to see
I don't
where
know if
everyone
he-
falls.
I don't know what you highlight.
Well, we can look at their fits as yeah. I know he doesn't. It's because he's a rival, not rival, but he plays with.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see where everyone falls. We can talk about each individual, their fits as we go along.
Yo, Strictly Ball Business. I'm Alec, and this is Dalton. We always talk about the NBA. Come join us, and let's have some fun.